everyone, welcome to the PaintBar channel. My name is Paige and I'm going to be teaching you how to create watercolor leaves. So we have different types of leaves. We have fall leaves I'm going to be showing you that have really fun jagged edges. We have vines that are really fun and funky. And we have just the basic run-of-the-mill smooth leaf that I will teach you as well. This video is part of our watercolor series. You can check out all of our other videos on our watercolor playlist. Alright, so let's go over supplies and what you'll need to create your beautiful watercolor. You will need some brushes. So make sure you have an array of different sizes, shapes. You can use the really tiny brushes for small details, different size round brushes to kind of play around with. That's really important. You will also need a clean cup of water. Really important to make sure that your water is clean throughout this entire process, because if your water is really gross and dirty, then your painting will become really muddy, gross, and dirty. You will need a watercolor palette. It has a ton of different colors to play around with, and most importantly, you will need some paper to create your masterpiece on. So I am just using cold pressed watercolor paper. Make sure you use watercolor paper. Do not use basic printer paper, because printer paper will wrinkle, it will create holes, and it just won't be able to hold the amount of water that you're going to be using. Alright, let's get painting. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to create your run-of-the-mill basic leaf, which kind of looks like this right here. So I'm going to take a paintbrush, start with a small brush, and if you want to make bigger leaves, then you can always grab a bigger rounded brush. Alright, dip into your water, find a green that you like, so I'm going to use this darker green. Alright, and then very light touch with the brush. And I'm just kind of sweeping it in a curved direction. Alright, so this will be the bottom of my stem, and this will be the top. So what's going to happen, I'm going to just lightly kind of retrace, and when you get up towards the center of your stem, you want to kind of push down like a rainbow, and then carefully just lift your paintbrush up to create the tip of your leaf. Go back over it. And then you're going to kind of just carefully retrace the bottom of your leaf, and then when you get towards the middle, start to push down hard with a slight curve, and you kind of meet at the very end. So now you see you have a space. You want to make sure just to kind of fill that in. And voila, you have a leaf. So I'm going to actually make some smaller ones. So I'm going to find a different paintbrush, find a different color, just to test out different shades of green. Very light brush stroke. This is going to be a smaller leaf, so smaller line, and then push down towards the center of your line. Create a little tiny rainbow, and you just want to make sure the end of your leaf is thin, just like the base of your leaf. And you'll see this is a little bit drier than this paint that I just put on, so you can see the definitive line between the two shades, which is really nice. If you want to add a different tone on top of your first leaf, I'm going to just take that paintbrush, put it on top of my first leaf, and just kind of drag it along. So I'm going to continue to create different leaves of this type of smooth, curved line look, but I'm just going to make them smaller and going in different directions. So again, I'm just going to grab a different green and start to practice my leaves. I like to use the dry brush technique, which you'll notice right here. Very little water is applied to my paintbrush, and that creates a really cool look. So I'm just going to take my paintbrush. The watercolor paper is thicker in texture and just heavier overall, which is why you are able to see kind of through into the paper. Now I'm going to teach you how to create a leaf that has kind of more jagged edge. These leaves kind of come out on either side to create more of a sharper, jagged edge as opposed to a smoother leaf. Find a smaller, rounded paintbrush. You want to make sure that it is not super big. So now I'm going to switch up the colors and create some fall leaves since it is September. And go ahead and grab some orange and some yellow. Now to add the edges, you want to very lightly take your paintbrush and kind of just quickly flip your paintbrush alongside the edges of the top, following the curve. And if you want to add a little bit of a contrast, I like to add a little bit of red, a darker orange. I like to leave a little bit of that light orange to peek through. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the same thing in a darker red. Have the leaf go this way. different directions, switch it up. Alright, so I am just continuing to create this feathered look all the way to the top. And then some leaves, you know, you can see the different types of lines. So if you want to add a kind of a defining line, again, very light. All right, and there you have it. All right, so now I'm going to teach you how to create a vine. Find a thinner round brush, dip it into whatever color you'd like. Start with a very, very thin line. So I'm going to start from one edge of my paper. So I do a few leaves at the bottom, and then I go to the very top of my vine and do one leaf right on top. All right, so you just want to make sure that the top of your vine is the thinnest point and the base of your vine is a little bit thicker. What I like to do also with the vine, start with one color, and then you can always add other colors on top to create different layers and texture. But for right now, just to get the vine, the shape of it, you just want to start with one color. And again, be very light. Don't use too much water. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take a darker color, a little bit of green, a little bit of that light brown, and we're going to start to add some different tones on top of my vine. And if you want to add darker tones, it doesn't mean you have to go into every single leaf. I'm going to actually leave some of them that lightish tan color, just because I think it's nice to see the different shades. Alright, so there you go, there's your vine. Now we have a finished few examples of how to create leaves. I hope you had a really fun time learning how to make vines, learning how to create different types of leaves, jagged leaves, fall leaves, all that fun stuff. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We post videos every single week, and you want to make sure you don't miss out on those. Also, don't forget to comment below, because I want to hear what you want to learn next with watercolors. So make sure to share a picture of what you've done with the hashtag TPBArtsy, and then don't forget to tag us too, at ThePaintBar. Bye everyone, until next time.